in the death of Raynette Turner. The reason we're publicly calling on today Attorney General Eric Schneiderman to recuse himself and turn this investigation over to the United States Department of Justice because of apparent conflicts of interest in the political connections with the city of Mount Vernon and Attorney General Snyder's office, namely Westchester County Democratic Chairman Reginald Lafayette, who also sits on the state committee, same body that endorsed Attorney General Snyderman for office. We have no faith that we'll get a fair, impartial, and thorough investigation, because right now there's different versions of the events that are going to the public and there's no facts. So what we've learned today, information that was withheld by city officials, some point Raynette Turner was taken into custody on Saturday by the Mount Vernon Police Department in charge of petty larceny. Found out that she was supposed to be arraigned on Monday, but no paperwork was filed with the district attorney. So therefore, she was being held, I believe, against her will, with no charges being filed. And what we learned when she was being transported, even though there was no charges filed with the district attorney's office in relation to Ms. Turner's charge, she was transported from the cell in the bottom of the Mount Vernon Police Department to the holding area of the Mount Vernon City Court, where she threw up. Instead of sending her to the hospital for medical evaluation, Ms. Turner was returned to her cell, where she was found dead several hours later. No one knows why she wasn't returned. Was she put on a medical watch downstairs? Who was assigned to her? This is information that is not forthcoming from the Mount Vernon Police Department and the city of Mount Vernon. So in fairness and out of respect so the Turner family can get justice, we've seen too many of these incidents this year alone. Freddie Gray, Sandra Bland, and now Raynette Turner, the people who are taken in custody by the police and ultimately died in the custody of the police. Enough is enough. The buck stops here. We need a thorough, transparent investigation. And the only way to get a thorough investigation is have U.S. Attorney Precar take over this investigation and investigate the Mount Vernon Police Department from the top to the bottom and review their policies and procedures on handling inmates that have medical needs. Because Ms. Turner was released from the hospital. So I'm sure they did tests. Anyone knows if you have hypertension, it was a dangerous level, she would have been admitted to the hospital. She would not have been released. So we need to put a timeline on what exactly happened. Was it some food she ate that was given to the prisoners? But one thing we do know that was not revealed, she did throw up in the holding area of the Mount Vernon City Court, even though there was no charges filed with the district attorney. They were still awaiting paperwork from a source that I've heard. So she should not have been held. If there's no paperwork, she should have been released. She should not have been held more than 48 hours against her will with no charges being filed formally against her with the court. So that alone in itself warrants the United States Department of Justice to come in here. I know there was a panel commissioned by Governor Cuomo, but we're asking publicly for Attorney General Eric Schneiderman to step aside and turn over all the facts of this case to the United States Department of Justice. I'm going to turn this press conference over to Mike Hannon, who's a law enforcement official, and would like to speak of the situation.
Good morning. And I'm Michael Hannon, representing Blacks in Law Enforcement of America. I'm here to discuss the untimely death of Ms. Raynette Turner, mother of 8, age 42. First, our thoughts, prayers, condolences go out to the Turner family. May God be with them. Our organization, Blacks in Law Enforcement of America, is concerned about the death and further along. She is one of 5 Black members to die in police custody in the month of July. As Black law enforcement, we feel obligated to speak out to determine why these deaths are occurring. As an organization, we have questions, as should you. Why was it deemed necessary to hold Ms. Turner in lockup over the weekend for such a minor offense, especially after a hospital visit? Secondly, could the Mount Vernon Police Department have reached out to a neighboring jurisdiction if it was so necessary to hold her and get a judge in to give her a release or disappearance ticket so she can come back to court at a later time? As I see it, the bookends of this case are a woman is arrested allegedly for petty larceny, theft of crab legs, and a day and a half later she's found dead in her cell. We just have to figure out what's in between. As a former police officer, I can't tell you how many times I've witnessed people given desk appearance tickets or released on their own reconnaissance for much higher offenses than petty larceny, and with higher offenses in their arrest history. We know that Ms. Turner was a city of Mount Vernon resident with 8 children. I wouldn't consider her a flight risk. I've seen firsthand on several occasions many a desk lieutenant demand that a prisoner with a medical ailment or sickness be given a desk appearance ticket or released. Being both a city resident and a minor offense, again, why was it so necessary to hold this woman in lock? My lieutenants obviously didn't want to risk what could happen in the cell block with a sick individual or someone with an ailment, especially for a minor offense as petty larceny. I'm praying that the Department of Justice will finally investigate one of the suspicious deaths involving blacks in police departments in Westchester County. Following this incident, as an organization, we expect to review and appropriate changes made in the Mount Vernon Police Department's manual of procedures in regards to prisoners in the cell block. We want to know what the criteria one needs to meet or deem necessary for a prisoner to have an accelerated check or even one-on-one care. We are here to stand and support the Turner family and the city of Mount Vernon community during this sad and trying time. Black lives do matter, and we're going to keep saying that Black lives matter until these atrocities between the police and the black people stop occurring. Thank you and have a blessed day.
My name is Colin Berkey. I'm a retired New York City detective with over 20 years of law enforcement. From my understanding, shoplifting is a petty offense, and in this case, Ms. Turner should have been given a desk appearance ticket, because if the paperwork wasn't ready in a day and a half, I don't see any reason by keeping a person in jail because the paperwork isn't ready. Also, when a prisoner is being placed in a holding cell, they are interviewed. And if a prisoner is not feeling well, they ought to receive medical attention. Now, it seems obvious that even if a prisoner said no, but they threw up, it's obvious that that prisoner needs medical attention. At least an ambulance should have been dispatched to the precinct so that Ms. Turner could have at least been evaluated, which wasn't. Also in New York City, when you have a sick prisoner is observed every 15 minutes. If it's found out that she's suicidal, you usually have an officer assigned to her. To me, this is another Sandra Bland case. This has to stop. Mount Vernon, you should be ashamed. This was a mother of 8. Don't think that she was a flight risk, and at the least should have been given a desk appearance ticket. Why are our people always dying at the hands of police when it's such a petty offense? When we know that if it's a persuasion of a different color, right, it would not happen. This must stop. I'm here on behalf of the family. I'm from the Brothers and Sisters Who Care, along with the National Latino Officers Association. And I'm here to support the family. But this must stop.